We'll call the meeting order. Let's do the pledge of allegiance. If I don't get up, I don't think I can get up. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call, please. Here. Yep.
Here. Smith.
Here.
Slinker.
Yes.
Here.
Okay, we'll go to the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is it?
We're having a little discussion over here off to the side, and I had come into this meeting with a mindset of what I believe we were going to be talking about, and Mr. Rosenblum has given me some other information, and neither of us are 100% certain about exactly what is going on here. Now, is this, what we're talking about, this proposed tax levy, is this the amount of taxes that the city charges on top of what the school charges on top of what the county charges? Or is this just a representation of the amount of taxes that we are allowed to use of the taxes that are already being collected?
The first one.
That's what I thought.
Does this make my taxes go up or the
No, actually,
residents' tax?
no, the taxes are going down because we're taking less this year because we don't have the debt anymore. The taxes are going down from 24, 25
Asking less.
by like 20 cents or something.
Right, but this is 25, 26. This discussion is to make them go back up from
No.
7.9 to 8.6.
No, last year's was on the other side, 24, 25. Last year's was 8.81133. And then this year it's the 860,609. It's just the yellow one.
What is the middle column and the first column? What's the 7.9618? What is that? It says budget year effective 25, 26.
I don't know, that one, maybe you are right, Scott. Maybe that's the maximum we can ask for.
I was, the way I understood it and the way I read it quickly through some information that I found was, this isn't making the residents' taxes go up.
Yeah.
This 8.6% is what we can use that the residents already pay in their taxes.
Okay.
I don't know that for positive, but that's what I want clarification on,
I know that there is the maximum that you can ask for.
right?
From whom?
From the taxpayer.
From the county.
That the county allows.
Directly from
I thought it
the
was 8.2?
8.2.
8.2 is the maximum.
So this is from the taxpayers.
Okay, so that's what I thought. So where's the 8.6 come into play if we can only ask for 8.2?
And why are we asking for 8.6 when there's $1.5 million in the bank?
Well, and here's the thing that I came prepared to talk about more than anything is the state. There's a big push on right now for the state to eliminate property taxes and somehow refund the budget through other means. If that's the case, and there is a fairly large movement, and I count myself in one of the people who would like to see property tax go away so that you actually do own your property at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because right now, the county can come take it if you get delinquent on your taxes, and I think that's criminal. That set aside, how dare the county, the school, or the city come looking for a tax increase when the state is trying to find ways to eliminate it altogether? That puts a really bad taste in my mouth.
Well, I don't agree with a lot of stuff that comes out of the State House, but, we're not talking any you don't hear any major changes than what we have done in years past. And this is for things that come in January or July of next year. And, you know, when you look at our tax rate here, we're just below shell law. We do have to run a city. We do need money in the bank. I think you guys do a wonderful job. But, you know, there's not really anything here that we can do to change that. I mean, it's just one of those things that we've dealt with for years and years and years. And you really do not want to, it's late to do anything about that. It's real late. We've got these deadlines, you know, to make these things go.
Right, but with that being said, that's a fair and valid point. However, two things immediately come to mind. And to back up Mr. Smith's point, is the city is sitting in a better financial position than it ever has, right? So to justify any kind of a tax increase when the city is financially better off than it ever has been, I find that head-scratchingly absurd. Secondly, just because it's always been done that way doesn't mean it always has to continue to be done that way. And with the Polk County tax assessment, the law states that they have to reevaluate every odd year or whatnot, which means in past historical documentation, you know, and precedent is that just means they go and raise everybody's property value as a matter of course, as it's just, you know, they act as though we're required to raise it. No, they're required to look at it. Doesn't mean they're required to raise it, but yet somehow they always do. And I find the precedent of this is how it's been done in the past, so this is how we're going to do it now, I find that offensive.
You're well within your right to, but we never know what comes down the pike from the Gold Dome up there. They could suspend this, change that, and they could they're leaving a lot of cities in trouble. Case in point, City of Des Moines, $17 million short in their budget. And so those are the kinds of things that we need to be careful about. Yeah, it's not offensive. I don't think we need that rainy day fund. We need that money. And we're not asking for a lot of money. And we're not doing any more than what, I mean, we just aren't. And I can have, we need to take action tonight, but, you know, Randy Ripker is a friend of mine. He's the Polk County Assessor. He would be glad to come out here and answer those questions for you, if you would like that, you know, say next month. I could do that. This is a very complex situation here, and I'm not going to try to be technical and answer any of those kinds of questions. I'm not qualified to do that, you know, and nobody here is. But if you would like to do that, I mean, we're talking not very much money here, you know. But we should, if you have that question, I'd be glad to bring it.
Well, I guess my basic question is, where's the need?
Where's the need? Well, that's where, you know, we decide.
We got, I don't know, X amount of dollars in our savings right now, right?
Yeah, over $1.5 million.
Okay.
Dollars.
Oh, that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
I have $1 million.
I looked at all the receipts. There was 5 bank accounts. One night after the deal, Logan was there was over $1.5 million in 5 or 6 different accounts.
A portion of that is our operating budget until June 30th also.
But it's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
Well,
So the problem we have is that you guys all were here and set a budget, so this rate is based on the budget we set, and we have to approve it tonight.
And this
to stay with
max tax
guidelines.
has to pass with a unanimous vote. The budget doesn't have to when we vote on the budget in April, but this has to be
But this appears
unanimous.
that we're here to vote on a tax increase that none of us
No,
ever
it's
talked
a
about.
decrease.
It's a decrease.
it's a
Decrease.
decrease. I
I'm,
mean, you just want to
Really
to
confused.
decrease it more?
no, No, I'm very confused.
Says there, I mean.
So for this
I thought
fiscal
we
year, it
voted-
says 8.8.
So the 2025 is going down to 7.98, which is below the,
mill rate's going down, but and that's what it's going to be. Your baseline for the value of your house.
Yeah, that's valuation changes every 2 years, that's why they come and check your house, look at your house, and then they determine the valuation. And then they take that back and they put it in a computer and an algorithm and compare it to everybody else. And then they set your valuation, and then they come, they take your millage rate, which is the school, the county, the city, everybody, and they take that, their tax askings, and they take that, and then the state has a rollback of 50% of what your assessed value is, and then they take that millage rate times the tax rate, of 50% of your value, that determines your property tax.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's a very complicated thing, but that's the way the legislature has set forth that we do things. And, if you want more information, then we could, have the Polk County assessor come up, or one of his people come up and explain it more in depth. Love it.
Well, apparently the confusion is on my part here, mostly, because it appeared from the sheet that we were given, and it's a copy of the sheet that was in our packet, that it appeared from the middle column to the right column that it was going up.
which one are we doing?
When
The middle column or the right-hand column?
So,
The right-hand column. So we're gonna be 4 points above the allowed by state millage rate.
That is because if you look at other cities, there's another one
Right there.
further up. That's where we.
well, I assume the dollar signs were supposed to be percentage.
No. I looked at every city and that's what they had. I used the Facebook to figure out.
So are these dollars?
No, it's not dollars, it's millage rate. It shouldn't be a dollar sign.
That confuses me even more.
Yeah,
$29 million.
But I see that the 8.6 and the 8.6 matches up. So, Mike, again, I have to circle back around, and I'm sorry if I keep beating this dead horse. What is this 7.9618 in the middle?
On the same page.
On the exact same page.
It looks like current year certified rate, budget year effective, and then budget year proposed. I would assume, well, you shouldn't assume anything, but budget year proposed is what we proposed on our budget, I would say.
Right.
And then the effective, that middle column that you're talking about is the actual amount that it's effective.
That we're working.
Yeah.
And then July 1st is the next year.
So I guess the question becomes, what is the state's allowable level? Because I do believe that was forced down.
3%, last I heard, that you can't raise, I think it's a percentage of your budget. You can't raise it more than what the state sets forth, unless, I guess it's a natural disaster, and you didn't have the money in the bank and you have to cover costs. But correct, I'm not sure on that. But yeah, they tie our hands well. And you just never know what's coming down the pipe with the state of Iowa.
We have a budget at the next year,
Yes.
so we'll have Nick here for that.
Yeah, this is just a
He would be,
formality.
I was hoping he was gonna be here tonight.
All these cities have sewer, they have a police force, they have a fire department. Granted, we do pay, but when you are sitting on a police force, a fire department, a sewage, and you have to do all that, in there lies the increase of all these others being way higher than, or somewhat higher than what we are. We are a bare necessity community, so these other communities you have on here don't compare to us at all because we have none of that. We don't have nothing.
Well,
Well, we outsource that stuff. I mean, there is.
But it's not nearly the cost of what it would cost if you were sitting on a police force, a fire department, all that.
Let me quickly share something, because I had a meeting with the county, the city manager.
No, that will just, no. That can be for the work
This is why you
session.
want to keep that money there.
I only have your number in my phone.
Anyway, okay,
Lauren?
is there anything else that you'd like to?
He got interrupted. He was gonna ask
I'm
a direct
sorry,
question.
Marlene, see you smacking.
We need to be careful proceeding here. We got all this money we're gonna spend uptown on the storm sewer projects, street projects, 36. We need to be proceed very carefully. I don't like tax increases either. But 2 or 3 years from now, we might not have whatever we got in our checking accounts. Because we're gonna spend it on these projects. And not necessarily we're gonna get all these grants like we have. So we need to proceed very carefully. And like you say, you might have to get some advice from some accountants and legal representatives. So I think we just need to proceed very carefully.
Well, I would agree with that. That is a fair assessment. Again, I apologize if I came at this from the wrong knowledge base. I thought we were here to vote on a tax increase for the city. I did not understand that we were here to vote on a budget that included a lower tax rate, because this paper was very confusing.
I think we're voting on the right thing for a simple reason. Our tax people that does our funding, they found ways, they lowered 0.2%, whatever it was, they got it down. But next year it might go up to 3%. We don't know. We don't know what the funding future is. That's why I'd like to see us pass this for a simple reason. We're secure for another year. See what I'm saying?
Yes,
Moving
I do.
forward.
And again, I apologize because I misunderstood why we were here.
Okay, this has got a funky deal where we vote on this right now.
Yes, this one has to pass.
Okay, this one has to pass, so I'll call for I got a motion and a second, it's on the table, so call
We
for
have
a
to
vote.
close the public hearing and then open up. I don't know, I'm asking technicality here. Because there was like three different meeting agendas.
My note from 10
And we gotta wait.
with the state of Iowa, it just says meeting needs to be 5 to 10 minutes long.
Check,
Nothing else can be discussed at this meeting.
check.
You have a separate meeting to set your budget hearing. With a 5-minute break in between the window.
Yeah.
So, no, we don't close it until we have the vote, and then we'll close it.
So, we'll call the question, roll call.
Andres?
Aye.
Sullivan?
Am I voting?
Yeah.
Yes.
Woods?
Yep.
Smith? Oops.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, that carries now.
Motion to close.
Do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close public hearing.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
People out here, man, say it.